The playoffs are getting ready to begin tonight as we welcome you back to the NASCAR The Game Inside Line Custom Season 4, race 27 to 36, 16 men, 3 races, and at the end of the checkered flag at Talladega, 1 week from now, 4 drivers will have their chase hopes come to an end. As you can see on the screen after qualifying, Dylan Murray did crash the car on his warm-up lap coming to the green, so he will be starting out back. And as we look at the 16 drivers and see where they all start. So Kyle Busch will start on the pole. Matt Kenseth will start to the outside. Greg Biffle will start third. Casey Kane will start fourth. Carl Edwards will start fifth. Jimmy Johnson will start seventh. Brad Keselowski will start eighth. Jeff Gordon will start ninth. Marcus Ambrose will start in 11th. Kurt Busch will start 14th. Dale Jr. will start 15th. Denny Hamlin will start 16th. Kevin Harvick will start 17th. And for the rest of the grid, Trevor Bayne will start 23rd. And as we look at the last driver, Dylan Murray will begin his playoffs off run, the furthest back of the 16 chasers, starting in 43rd. Driving the Dale Senior Throwback tonight on this Tuesday evening. Pace car is off. Kyle Busch brings the field down, and the playoffs are about to begin. Right when I don't go deaf. $70 few laps, just like the first day race here. Oh, we got trouble already. McDowell gets spun around. He looks like he gets going. As Kyle Busch will lead lap number 1 after a bit of a dust-up with Robbie Gordon. Michael McDowell has gotten his car going. We will stay green. Jeff Gordon is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. And if you're a guy like Trevor Bayne or Dylan Murray or even a guy like Harvick or Hamlin, you have to really watch keeping that nose clean, especially in traffic, because it's not just the 16 drivers fighting for a championship. It's the other 27 cars that aren't that you have to worry about. And a lot of big moments can happen as well. I mean, look back in 2006, Tony Stewart missed the chase after winning the championship the year before and went on a big tear late in the season, winning Atlanta and Texas. So there could be that. Or Tony Stewart was probably the biggest long shot getting into the chase in 2011. And he won 5 races and tied with Carl Edwards, who only won 1 race back at Vegas. But the 5 wins to Tony Stewart's 1, or Carl Edwards' 1 win victory back in Vegas that year, allowed for Tony Stewart to claim the championship. So far, Kyle Busch is enjoying an early lead so far here in Darlington. Just a reminder that if any of the 16 drivers I just mentioned win tonight's race, or Richmond or next week Talladega, then they automatically get a berth into the round of 12. So before we do that, let's go ahead and look through the races in each of the 3 rounds. So the Challenger round begins with Darlington tonight, Richmond on Friday, move that back a day, and Talladega Tuesday afternoon. Talladega will be the eliminator race that decides who advances to the next round, which will consist of Charlotte, Kansas, and Martinsville. The final night, well, you thought it was the final night race of the year. And then the round of 8, aka Crunch Time, will be Atlanta, Texas, and Phoenix. Atlanta and Texas will both be at night. And the championship 4 will come down to a race at Homestead, Miami. First across the line will be the champion. Field seems to start to string itself out right now. Dylan Murray has passed about 17 cars, getting ready to close in on Paul Menard to make that 18 since the start of this race. Trevor Bain hasn't really moved. He's the closest other driver to the to Dylan Murray on the starting grid back in 23rd. We almost had a caution on lap 1 earlier in the night, on turn 3, but McDowell got it going. So we stay green so far early on at Darlington. As Kyle Busch continues his dominating performance out front in the Southern 500. And there is a train of 23 cars with, looks like Trevor Bain and Clint Boyer are the caboose in the back of that group. And the group of 22, Kyle Busch is the head of that group pack right now as we speak, as the field seems to have spread itself out. As Dylan really gained a lot of time there. Closing up on the 21 of Trevor Bain. Possibly see if we can take some spots. Just a reminder, every position until Phoenix counts as a point. And if these drivers are getting close or who are on that cut line trying to get in, you could see some desperation moves, especially with this particular format. As Burton gets off track. Oh, we got a crash. Turn 3 and 4. Looks like Hamlin gets into the wall. Minimal damage to his car. And collects Trevor Bain, playoff driver. Early on in this, as everybody slowed up, Jeff Burton gets into the wall, collects Trevor Bain, and I think everybody's going to come down pit road this time. So, first caution of the night. Put some real tape on it. As we begin the first round of green flag pit stops tonight. Compared to the Wreckfest that was Atlanta, that saw multiple changes on drivers being in or out of the playoffs. Hopefully, think these 10 races are going to be crazy. Again, the first pit stops of the night. Dylan Murray is driving a throwback that was obviously inspired by the paint scheme that Dale Sr. ran during his final victory at Talladega back in 2000, when him and Kenny Wallace came from 18th, which is where we're coming out on pit lane, ironically, or 19th, to the front in just a handful of laps and win his lap and win the Winston 500 that year, which unfortunately we all know the results of what happened 3 months later in 2001. Killed in a crash on the final lap of the Daytona 500. Kyle Busch and Greg Biffle are on the front row. Everybody pitted. Trevor Bayne loses 20 spots. Everybody else. So right now the bottom four, as it sits, will be, or if the chase were to be eliminated next week at Richmond, Trevor Bayne, Denny Hamlin, Dylan Murray, and Ryan Newman are in that bottom list, and everybody, pretty much everybody except for those four, are in the top 16. Getting set for the first restart of the night. Green flag back into the air. Didn't really see a lot of other throwbacks and throwback paint schemes in the field tonight. As Dylan Murray makes a little bit of contact with Sam Hornish. That gives him a nice little shot in the back bumper to move him out of the way to take 16th. Pull to the inside, take 14th. Oh, Stenhouse getting a little chippy there. Not nudging Dylan out of the way for 15th. Dylan thought he had it, but couldn't quite make it stick. We come out, turn 4. And here comes Dylan right back to try to maybe give Stenhouse a little bit of a shot in the corner. PLC inside to take the 15th position away. Remember, Dylan Murray started last in a backup car after a crash in qualifying coming off turn 2 on his first lap. So he did not post a time, and he's fast. I think so. Kyle Busch continues a very dominating performance so far in the Southern 500, with Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson the top 3. Jimmy Johnson got into the chase with a win at Charlotte 1, the first Charlotte race, before Darlington the week later, and then back out to Charlotte, which was won by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Lamar closes in the corner. Looks like Greg Biffle and Carl Edwards will round out the top 5. As we sit, and we sit, and we sit. Dylan charges in. A little bit of contact with Truex. Looks like things are staying clean and green. Trying to dive it in to make a whole stick. can't quite get the momentum off the corner. Keeping the draft behind him. And Truex is into the wall. Dylan Murray edges Harvick up the track a little bit. A little bit of contact off 4, side by side for 13th. Dylan will get the spot. Harvick still holding on the outside lane, and Dylan is clear in turn 1. Green flag pit stop should be coming up here very shortly in the next couple laps or so. Question is, how will these cars handle getting onto pit road? If that, you got Dale Jr. and Marcus Ambrose. Jr. got into the chase with a couple wins. He won the 600, and he won the Bristol night race just a few weeks ago, last Tuesday, or Wednesday, I'm sorry. Dylan gets the spot, holds on to 11th. Kyle Busch still holding a very dominant lead over Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson. That car is fast, or the 18 car is anyway. Looks like the lead group is already catching lap traffic. And Ambrose get a little chippy there. Junior into the wall. And Truex spins the accordion. Second caution of the night. Ambrose gets in. Junior. 2 more playoff drivers in trouble. So, wow. Junior and Harvick get together, causing Truex to spin behind. So, as the second caution of the night. And probably a few laps for green flag pit stops, too. As we be in more pit stops, looks like Jimmy Johnson will get out first, maybe. And, bit of a new change up front. Looks like Danica Patrick up in 12th. That's a little something. Having a decent run tonight so far. So Junior and Truex with problems. They will both restart at the tail end of the field. Kyle Busch is still your leader. Pace car is off, and we are back under green. Bill Murray with an amazing run. He's able to edge Stewart off the corner. He might be able to get Stewart and Keselowski here. And Edwards hitting the brakes in turn 3 and 4. Kyle Busch escapes with the lead. And here comes Dylan going all the way downstairs. Makes more contact with Edwards. Can't make it stick. And, trouble. Big wreck. Several playoff drivers in it. Looks like, can't really see who it is. Looks like Keselowski, Gordon, Kane are in it. Biffle, Tony Stewart sideways, Dylan Murray with damage. Everyone else seems to scatter all right. So that'll be third caution of the night. Dylan got loose, clipped Keselowski. Looked like he tried to make a 3-wide move stick. Couldn't quite make it work. So with that, see some more changes inside the top 10. Kyle Busch still leads. And Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Jeff Burton, Juan Montoya, and Marcus Ambrose pit. And the three, probably the worst benefactors of this whole deal, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, and Greg Biffle will all be pitting. I'll have to start at the back for this restart. We're starting in 10th. So 3 caution flags tonight. And I don't think Dylan Murray liked getting brake checked by Carl Edwards on that top lane after that last restart. Dylan Murray trying to tuck in on the bottom. Gets everything straightened out this time. And, Boyer. Oh, another crash. And I think somebody might have gotten airborne this time. Clint Boyer gets tipped into the wall and then hard hit by Hornish. And then Stremme and then everyone else. So what's the thing everybody says? Oh, yeah. Cautions breed cautions. Carl Edwards will now be the leader for this next restart. Whoa. Terrible restart there. McMurray and Hamlin go around. Do they say no? More wrecking. Again in turn 1. Labonte and Hamlin on the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, somebody in the air. Wow. Who is that getting in the air there? Somebody got in the air at the end of that. Hamlin to the bottom. Logano into the wall. Oh, Casey Mears went for a little bit of a ride. And so did Hamlin, too. So, 5th caution flag tonight as things continue to get a little dusty. Murray comes right on Hamlin to get his nice spot into the inside lane for a good advantage into turn 1. Carl Edwards takes the lead. Keselowski tucks into second. Dylan Murray with a big head of steam here. He could take Paul Menard 3 wide. And run Stenhouse a little high. And here's Kurt Busch battling Dylan Murray off of 4. Dylan takes the spot. Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski with the lead. Dylan Murray trying to close in on Keselowski. Dylan breaks to the inside. Could he get the lead here? Oh. And a little bit of a physical move there for Dylan on Edwards. Edwards gets run high. So we got 3 cars in a blanket right now trying to fight for the race lead. Keselowski gets moved high. Dylan. Oh, Keselowski into the wall. Here comes Kurt Busch and probably about 4 other cars. Edwards pulls away with a little over a second advantage over Dylan Murway. And now Dylan Murway is going to try to come in there and make it up. Dylan kisses the wall off free, trying to keep the car going. Hopefully he can stay inside the draft with Edwards, maybe run him down here in this second half of this race. Kyle Busch did dominate pretty much the entire first half. And now it's the Carl Edwards and Dylan Murway show. Dylan charges in, kisses the wall off 4, a little bit in 3, I'm sorry. Edwards pulls away. And now Dylan gets situated again for another run. Dylan trying to get in there, maybe edge Edwards up the track there. He gets him in the corners, but on the straights is when Edwards gains all the momentum back. Dylan trying to get low on the bottom. Maybe close up here to the inside. Maybe get the lead. Barely. Dylan will take it. And here comes Carl Edwards back on the bottom. And Edwards back to the point. Dylan Murway, Carl Edwards, and Brad Keselowski, the top 3. Remember, Edwards got in with his win back at Vegas earlier this year. Got into the chase with a win back at Vegas, and if things keep going the way they are, and barring any green flag pit stops incoming, we could have a... And Kurt Busch suddenly has a problem. Yellow flag number 6. Ooh. Kind of a weird issue there. Went in there, got the wall, an inside wall, and yeah. So now this is going on. Here's more green flag pit stops, which this could be critical in deciding who wins this race if we don't get any more yellows. Edwards, Keselowski, Murway, the top 3, with some more new faces up there in Denny Hamlin holding on 7th, Kyle Busch in 9th, and Jimmy Johnson back up to 15th. Look through the rest of the field. Jeff Gordon currently having an interesting evening so far. Harvick, Newman, and Junior would be currently the four that would be eliminated next week at Richmond if the round ended there. Pace cars off, and we are back green. Bill Murray with a little bit of contact with Keselowski. Edwards gets the advantage off 2. Paul Menard up there in 5th. Dylan Murray all over the back bumper of Carl Edwards. He gave him a nice healthy shot in the corner. And everything's still good. Whoa. Tight. Woo. Bit of an interesting moment there for Dylan as he lands right in front of Keselowski, which allows Edwards to pull away a little further. Not by much, as look who's closing in. Dylan Murray pulls in. Ooh, kind of kissed the wall there. And a little over 0.2 of a second back. 28 to go. Dylan Murray trying to look over, under, find an opening for Carl Edwards. Can he clear him? Dylan charges in deep. Whoa, that was tight. Yikes. Dylan almost chops Edwards. Edwards comes back on the bottom. They're door-to-door to the line. Edwards leads the lap. And I got 4 chasers in a blanket. And whoa, Kurt Busch spins again. We get going. Dylan Murray and Kurt Busch slide. And I don't think Dylan's too happy with the 2 after that move. And there's payback. And we got cars piling into the wall this time. Keselowski loses multiple spots, and we still stay green. Edwards almost 4 seconds up on Dylan Murray as he's trying to make up that ground here with a little over 20 laps to go as we get ready to close in possibly on the final round of green flag stops. And Edwards continues to pull away after Dylan may have an issue with the right front if he keeps going the way he is. Running the Darlington line running his line on the bottom and then the Darlington line. Down to 1 and 2. Dylan Murray tries to make it. Oh, wow. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't crashed this thing yet. Paul Menard sits in 3rd. He already got 1 win in a big event to his name last year at the Brickyard in a fuel mileage gamble, which if this thing goes green all the way, could shape up to be a fuel mileage race for the win if we don't get any more cautions. Dylan Murray continuing to close that gap. A little under 6 seconds that time. A lot of right front damage to the 25, still keeping it green, clean and green. sort of, as he continues to kiss the wall. And the lead will continue to grow. 7.2 seconds now, as Carl Edwards has virtually checked out in the later half of this race. As in, it's probably going to take a yellow if things keep going the way they are here. $21 laps to go, so there'll be 20 to go now. And now Edwards is basically checked out into another zip code. He's already packed his bags and got his plane for Richmond ready here with 19 to go in this race. Or 20 to go, I'm sorry. Okay, now it would be 19 to go. I can't count today, apparently. So this could get interesting depending on fuel and how things cycle out. Dylan Murray has 3 laps left on fuel before he comes in, and his tires are burning up, especially on the right front. So he's going to have to let the car roll through the corner, back to the throttle. He's going to have to let off early if he wants to conserve him and have a shot at Carl Edwards in case there's another caution. And it looks like his crew chief is ordering him to come in this time. And he just pulls into pit road. Barely squeaks it in. Fill up the tank in case of more cautions. Is green flag pit stops are taking place. And here we go. Paul Menard is leading, so Dylan Murray came out. Carl Edwards has come in, which means, as of right now, if a caution were to come out, Dylan Murray will get the free pass. Which means more drama will get ready to form here at Darlington. Regan Smith, the 2011 winner, is out front. And this could get interesting. Everyone checking up here. Oh, looks like smoke up ahead. Everyone somehow gets out of it. And speed to the inside. And the caution comes out. Oh, another wreck behind. Wow. Quapple, Gordon, Stenhouse barrels in there. So this means 6 drivers are on the lead lap. Paul Menard gets the lucky dog. And Regan Smith will be your leader. Regan Smith, Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, the only 2 chasers that are in the top 6. So Regan Smith leads. Looks like Hamlin is second in line. 3 wide in the corner. And Dylan Murway is going to take down Regan Smith in one shot. Oh, okay, this could get tight. Regan Smith using the bumper on Dylan Murway there to take the top spot. 11 to go. Keep in mind, these are two Denver teams, one of which is fighting for playoffs. He's got a lot to fight for tonight. And as it sits, Dylan Murway is the highest playoff driver in the running order. Dylan Murway muscles Hamlin out of the way in the corner. Comes back. Tony Stewart gets into the apron, saves it. And trouble! Stewart to the inside and a big mess. And it looks like Austin Dillon is the other car involved. Ooh, just Tony Stewart getting railroaded by everybody for that caution. So Dylan Murway and Paul Menard will be on the front row. Casey Kane is the closest chaser in fourth. And how about Trevor Bain and Jimmy Johnson? Up there in the top four rows. And then the rest of the pack. Some drivers did pit, others did not. Dylan Murway with an amazing restart. He's going to come up. Check him a little slow going into one. And Dylan Murway hold off Paul Menard. Menard trying to look down low. Stenhouse down there as well. Trevor Bain up in third. He's bringing the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as well. Johnson's no stranger to success at this facility. And Bain to pit road, another crash. Taps into Quapple, and McMurray gets turned into the wall behind. And somehow they stay out of it. You know, with the way this race has gone tonight, I thought we skipped and went to Richmond. Dylan Murway with two Hendrick cars. You know he's going to be aggressive, trying to hold Dale Jr. off. Casey Kane, Kyle Busch. The top five. Montoya is the only non-chase driver in fourth. You bet Dylan's going to try to get wide. Misses the block. Kane to the inside. Busch to the inside. Keselowski almost clears him. Casey Kane to the race lead at Darlington. Oh, someone hit the brakes. Kane hits the wall. There's on pit road. So now it's Busch and Keselowski fighting for the win late in this race. Somehow that wasn't a crash. Keselowski, he did not win in the regular season. He got in off of points. He's probably a handful of laps away from a possible win. Busch tries to look in. There's contact. Busch to the inside. Keselowski gets loose. Biffle closes up. So we got five chasers, all with a realistic shot at a win. Busch and Keselowski made a little contact on the inside. And Dylan Murway swerving for some reason. Oh, Bush tags the wall. Now it's Dylan and Keselowski fighting for the win. As Keselowski pulls away. 3 laps of racing left. Dylan Murway, he knows he wants a win to advance. Keselowski didn't win all season, and he's 3 laps away from possibly advancing into the round of 12 early. Coming to the line, Dylan Murway really is charging that corner. 2 laps to go. Can Dylan Murway try to make it happen? He's closing in off 2. He's taking a different line. Keselowski needs to go and take that line to allow that dirty air. Dylan charges in. This could come down to a bump and run, I think. He gave Keselowski a shot in the corner. White flag at Darlington. Dylan Murway trying to give it all he's got. Can he get there? He's going to send it here, I think. Yeah, he's going to have to. Does he have the time? Oh, hard hit. And Dylan gets turned off of 4. And Brad Keselowski is going to win and advance to the round of 12. Look at all the positions Dylan just lost. As he comes home in 15th after a last-ditch Hail Mary move to try to make it to win this race. How about this? Comes in, gets turned off the nose of Junior. So as the top 16 sits, so Keselowski, Biffle, Junior, Bush, Smith, Martin, Stenhouse, Gordon, McMurray, and Menard are the top 10. So Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, Dale Jr., Greg Biffle, and Brad Keselowski are all the 6 highest chase drivers. The other 10 as it sits, so Trevor Bayne, after getting into a dust-up early on, comes up home 12th. Jimmy Johnson, Dylan Murway, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin are the 12 that would advance if the chase ended next week at Richmond. Carl Edwards, Marcus Ambrose, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Newman, and Casey Kane would be out of it. So Kane, Newman, Harvick, and Ambrose would be the drivers on the outside looking in, heading into Richmond. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Keselowski, Biffle, Junior, Busch, Gordon, Bayne, Johnson, Murway. So that's 5 drivers there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 drivers. So Ambrose, Harvick, Newman, and Kane are outside of the top 12 heading into Friday night's race at Richmond. Saturday night's race at Richmond. I lied earlier when I said the date was on Friday. It is a Saturday race. So congratulations to Brad Keselowski on advancing to the round of 12 with his win tonight at Darlington.